it's not about reaching the goal, it's about the journey towards that goal. So
Hey guys, welcome to the Wholesome Life Podcast. I'm Shay Douglas, and today I'm really excited because I'm here with an inspiring man who's doing incredible things in the local community. His name's Brauer, and he's an incredible musician. He's also founded this incredible charity, non-for-profit charity called Kick On. And I'm sitting here today, and we're just going to chat a little bit about Kick On and how it came about and the story behind the beginning and the birth of this charity.
hey Shay, there you
Good, right?
Thanks for that amazing introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, Kick On. We've been registered for about 12 months now. We're a suicide prevention charity. The way it kind of kicked off was I used to work fly in, fly out for a lot of years. Used to be like a high voltage electrician and a linesman. Ended up working on the gas and in the gas and mining industry. And I was very different life to what I'm living now. I was engaged to be married. I was about 8 weeks out from getting married to my ex-fiance, and the wedding got called off about 8 weeks out, which I didn't see coming, and it was absolutely devastating for me. So I basically went from having a great time, like loving working away and enjoying my job and stuff, to really flipped on its head to be like kind of almost very isolated, stuck in a bit of a prison, and just not knowing what I was doing with my life anymore, because everything I'd been planning had just been ripped out from underneath me. So big life-changing moment, and it just made me really rethink what made me happy, what I wanted to do with my life, whether I was happy living away all the time, whether I was happy, just chasing big money and stuff like that. Like, it really redefined what made me happy. So I decided to quit my job, started playing music for a living, which I was always very passionate about music. I actually had a little bit of time, so I could start volunteering at different charities and stuff around town, where I feel very lucky that I discovered a passion for suicide prevention. And the more I learnt about it, the more passionate I got, and the more that I seen that it was a massive problem.
Sounds like you've had this enormous shift in your life, and you've been through this whole transformational process where so many aspects of your life has totally changed. And could you share just a little bit about what the whole purpose of Kick On is?
This before we started the charity, but this same building, it was like Australia Day about three or 4 years ago. I had food poisoning, so I was sick as.
Wow.
Couldn't party. I was like, whatever. So I just went home, and I got home and I jumped on Facebook. It was still about midnight or whatever. I jumped on Facebook, and there was this guy that put up 3 statuses in a row saying, basically, this is it. I'm gonna do it tonight. It's all done. And then the next one was, say thanks to my mum or whatever, rah, 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 you won't hear from me again after tonight. It was about 12 or 1 in the morning. And I was like, shit, this is really serious. So I sent him a message, and I was like, hey man, what's going on? I just seen your statuses, just wanted to check, see if you're alright, what's going on. Didn't reply, so I just, kept sending him messages. Just tried to call him, he wasn't answering. So I started going through our mutual friends list and sending them messages and say, hey, do you know where this guy is, or do you have his phone number, because these are the statuses he's put up. So I just started going through all our mutual friends. It took me ages, but finally he sent me back a message and said, I'm checking out, basically. And I was like, so he ended up telling me that he's like, I'm at Harbour Lights. I'm at Harbour Lights. I'm gonna jump off the balcony, basically. He's on the 10th story up there. So I was like, oh, cool, man, I'm right around the corner. Wait till I get there at least. Don't jump yet. I'll come up and say hello and whatever. I was like, what room are you? I'm just trying to get the room. And he ended up telling me which room. And literally jumped in the car, screamed in the air, went up to the 10th floor, banged on the door, and he was literally out, out on the balcony, going to jump off, and just sat there with. The craziest thing, I sat there with him for 2 minutes and just had a chat to him. I was like, dude, do you smoke? Or he's like, yeah. I'm like, let's go down for a smoke. You can't smoke here. Set the alarms off, you know. So he's like, all right. So I went down here and literally stood over there on that deck over there.
Wow.
Within 5 minutes, like he just, I said, what's happened? And within 5 minutes of talking to somebody, he was calm. Like, he'd cried, he got it out, he'd said what was upsetting him so much, and then he was like, he was good to go, you know, like, and now...
And he's still alive today.
Still alive, and like, he comes to gigs sometimes, and he's like, gives us a big cuddle, and just like, you know, it's amazing, and that's one of the things that I'm like, the power that's in a conversation is just crazy, you know, like that's... Yeah, and that's just something that I've taken with me for ages. It's like a conversation was the difference between that. And mental health as such, it is still quite a taboo thing, unfortunately, which it shouldn't be. But if you can link it up with a cool image and a cool clothing label and stuff, it can really ease people into having that conversation and redefining, you know, what it looks like to people. So the overall aim for Kick On, you know, we've already, you know, so my experience was from the, you know, fly in, fly out sector, and we've put together a gas and mining camp mental health tour, which funnily enough we're actually going back to the same sites that I used to work on. So I'm really excited about going back and being able to help those guys that I used to work around and you know, teach them a little bit of stuff about, you know, mental health awareness, you know, some positive coping strategies that they can do, how to hold down a long distance relationship, you know, things like that I think really could have helped me while I was out there. And, you know, so that's one aspect of what we're doing, and we're combining stand-up comedy and live music. And other than that, we've got like a school wellbeing program. We're approaching grade 10 students. We want to do all of Cairns first and then spread it through Australia, touching on a lot of different subjects, not so much suicide prevention, but you know, being a lot more proactive and giving people the tools so they don't get to that kind of stage. Also, you know, how to identify when someone really is in the red and at risk, and the local support services that they can get them to. The reason why I started up Kick On was because I really wanted to put a lot of these unique kind of projects together. I don't think it's very hard to do it under other banners without losing creative control.
Mate, it's so inspiring for me to see a man just really using his energy in the best way possible to, you know, approach life in all its aspects. And one thing that I've learned recently from Lifeline is that 1 in 4 males, particularly between the age of 18 and 44, are taking their life and committing suicide. So it's such a prominent epidemic of where we're at currently within Australia, and what I'm learning more and more within the world. And what better way than to be an example of a wholesome man that is like using his knowledge and using these tools that are accessible to him to really make a difference in the world and try and have a positive impact among your friends, among your work community, among the whole sporting environment and greater community at large, to really uplift humanity. And it's so incredible to see that, man, and I'm really honoured. And could you just share like some of the things that have helped you break through some of these times where it's been difficult for you, you're going through maybe some deeper emotional upheaval, or there's this mental kind of overtaking? Because I know that I experience it sometimes, where it's an overload of anxiety and these insecurities are running rife. What do you do to help yourself overcome those challenges and navigate your way through that to come out to this emotional health, well-being state?
Yeah, I think it's really important to touch on the fact that I think everybody goes through this, and I think it's not, you don't either have a mental illness or you don't. Like everybody, there's a mental health spectrum, you know, and we all sort of balance from the green to the red, you know, every day, we, you know, backwards and forwards. So some of the things that I really use is regular exercise. I can't stress enough how much exercise and diet can affect your mental health. sleep. So those things are huge. So they all go together. Like if you're exercising regularly, you're eating the right stuff, you're staying away from sugar and processed foods, then you're going to sleep better.
Yeah.
If you don't sleep, that's people use sleep deprivation as torture. It literally makes you go crazy. So if you're not sleeping, you're not going to be able to deal with little problems become big problems. So it's all about balance. So you need to be able to have support with friends. You need to be able to have these conversations whether it's with a friend or whether you're going to see a therapist or whatever, but you need to be able to talk about how you feel. A problem shared is a problem halved is a great term that I've heard, and it really is. Like as soon as you share something, you're going to get a different perspective on how to fix it, and even just the fact of sharing it can be a massive weight off your shoulders. So
it's so motivating for me because it makes me want to take action in my life and support those around me, support my mates, give them words of encouragement, be there for them in tough times. Like literally just before stepping into this interview, I had one of my really good friends ring me up in tears, and it was like, I need to be there for him, just hear what's going on and just let him know that I'm there for him, That was the biggest thing, and he just instantly told me how much he appreciated that. So it's inevitable that these feelings, like you said, are inherent in part of the experience of being a human.
yeah.
What is your vision for Kick On in the charity and for the world to live a more wholesome, holistic approach to life, and where do you see us progressing towards?
With Kick On, there's a lot of stuff about to start happening. We've got like a really unique concept with a membership system, which is local businesses. Basically, any local business can come and be a Kick On, supported business.
Yeah.
But it has to be, healthy for somebody's body or mind. So, like cafes, gyms, massage stuff, self-care or dietary kind of stuff. So if you go into a cafe, we've got some dietitians on board, which are kindly sponsored. They'll go through and check the menu out. There'll be a certain criteria that the food has to meet to get the discount. So there'll be a Kick On discount. It's basically offering financial incentives to eat healthy and do the right thing for your body or for your mind. So it could be really, really massive, and that's going to spread, all over Australia. So hopefully we'll get a lot of members making the right choices because they're getting little discounts on this kind of stuff. With Kick On, there's a lot of different projects that we have in the pipeline. We've got a female self-defense seminar, which is next weekend. So we're not just concentrating on men or kids or women. Like I think the solution is, it's everywhere, and it's people helping other people from these other groups. I think society is very quick to label people and put people into little boxes these days, which can be all right to get very specific on the problems for each one, but with seeing a lot of people from these small groups that are attacking anything that's not from their own group, if you know what I mean. So we need women helping men with men's issues. We need men helping women. It can't just be, little clubs everywhere. Otherwise, it's going to become very divided. So,
or what does a wholesome life mean for you?
A wholesome life for me, it's all about balance, really. So I kind of balance in between this. On one hand, I think it's great to have massive goals and be driven and motivated and really have something out in front of you that is going to anchor you. So if you don't have something that you're working towards, that you can see out in front of you, it can be very easy to get washed around in little things that happen to you and get stuck in a bit of a whirlpool and end up not knowing which direction you're going. But if you've got something out in front that you can anchor yourself to, that's great. So having goals is a massive one. Working towards something, like having purpose, putting your energy into something positive, So, but on the flip side of that, it's all about balance. So taking time out and being present and enjoying the moment and stopping and smelling. Balance is key.
Balance, that's the key element in this whole conversation, and I love that. And thanks for taking the time out today to sit with me and chat. And
anytime, man.
Appreciate all the work that you're doing in the world and in our local community. It's really inspiring for me, and it motivates me to take action when I wake up in the morning. So,
oh man, it's great.
Appreciate
Doing this
it.
stuff is amazing, and we're happy to have you involved with Kick On. So
yeah, sweet, bro. Thanks very much.
cheers, man. Awesome.
Awesome. That's it, guys. If you want to support an incredible charity, non-for-profit in Cairns, check out Kick On. They're doing amazing things. So many projects coming up, and get behind them, support them, do what you can, contribute, whether it's monetary value or just simply your time and being there for some of the projects. We'd love to see you. And
Just buy some cool clothes.
buy a mad hat, get yourself a shirt, and keep going together.
That's it.